So this is a cheese one, and this is the meat one. So we got some Börek takeaway and we brought it home. If you don't know what Börek is, it's a phyllo pastry usually filled with basically anything. It's kind of geographically, it's found in a very large area. In this case, we got a cheese one. So this is the cheese, and this is meat. What meat? I have no idea, but I'm sure being in Turkey, it will either be beef or lamb. Either way, I don't care. I like beef and lamb, and I don't discriminate. I love them both. Yeah, so it's kind of funny because we've never been to Turkey before, and to be honest, we haven't really traveled that much in the Middle East, or anywhere near Turkey for that matter. And I always thought Börek was phyllo pastry specifically only filled with cheese, and specifically a feta cheese. In different parts of the world where I've been, if you get it, it's often in a kind of like a cigar shape or a triangle filled with a cheese. This is kind of the same you get everywhere. It's kind of like they kind of make it into the snake-like shape and then they chop it up. But it's quite cool because Börek here seems to be a way of life. You know, you can find it everywhere. I mean, when we went to this Börek place, we walked past 2 or 3 places that were doing it as well. Yeah, so that's basically what Börek is. I'm sure that in other parts of the world you might specifically get a particular filling, or they might cut it differently, or they might present it differently. But from what I understand, it's phyllo pastry and a filling. So I'm going to try the cheese one first. And I must say, I really like Turkish cheese because they do have a lot of cheese that's similar to feta cheese, and I love feta cheese. So you can see that it hasn't really melted. It's quite firm, this cheese. It's not very melty, and I quite like it because often it's got a nice chew and it's kind of got a saltiness. But yeah, you can see the layers of the phyllo pastry. And it's still warm and really nice. And the phyllo pastry itself is not salty, so the salt from the cheese gives it a really nice hit. It's really, really good. And it still has a nice crunch, even though we had to walk 5 minutes up the hill to bring it home and it was covered in packaging, so it's still pretty crispy considering. So it also doesn't seem specific to what time of day you eat it. Right now it's pretty early, it's about 9 a.m. No, it's not 9 a.m. It's about 10 a.m. And everywhere you can see people eating it, and even late night when you go out you can see people eating it. Although I do think a lot of these places don't necessarily open for dinner, but you can generally find it. It's so good. Like, this is something that I could get used to. Like, it's really really tasty. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna try the meat one. So there's not that much meat in there, like if you look there, but it doesn't matter. They also had, I think, a potato filling, and then they also do a plain one, and then they put icing sugar on after. So it's got no filling, it's just like the buttery phyllo pastry. Yum. It's definitely like a minced meat, and they've put herbs and spices in there. It also has a nice salty hit, but it's very it's not super overpowering, the flavor, so the phyllo pastry still stands out. I'm gonna take another bite, sorry. It's not overpowering flavor. It's as if they've put maybe 1 or 2 herbs, onion, garlic, meat, that type of thing. But it's so nice, like, and it's a huge portion. This was a smaller, so everything together was 40 lira. And it's a lot. Like, this is heavy. Like, it's probably 500 grams, I reckon, or maybe just slightly less. But yeah, if you ever wanted to try Börek, Turkey, or Istanbul specifically, where we are now, is a good place to have it because it's everywhere, and yeah, delicious. I could eat this for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Maybe not in one day, but I wouldn't discriminate what time of day it is. It's really nice.